Check 1, 2. Is everything running? Check. Hey, Steve Stine here, and I just thought I would tell you a little bit about how I control my guitar tone and how the EMGs make a big impact on my guitar tone in general, my comfort zone, and how I use them to kind of manipulate my tone. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with a basic clean tone here. I've got an 81, an SA, and an 85 or an 89 in most of my guitars. Now, I've got guitars that have like the 57-66 combo and different things like that as well, but I prefer the 81, 85, or the 89 if possible. So either one is just fine for me. So this one in particular, I've got the 89, and I've got my push-pull actually on my volume, okay? Because there's something else happening in the tone control I'll talk about in just a second. So I'm just going to keep it on with the push-pull down, so I'm in the humbucker position of the 89 here. So I'm all the way up, and there's my clean tone, okay? Now, if I was playing single note lines or something like that, you know, I might have my volume all the way up. I'm all the way up on this 5th position here, right? Or maybe, you know, single note picking or quiet strumming or something like that. Okay? But if I really wanted to get aggressive with it, the 89 tends to be a bit hot for the clean channel oftentimes. So what I do is I've gotten so used to either bopping into the 4th position, okay, or just rolling my volume back. So let me show you that. So if I just went from the 5th position here to the 4th position, and that's where I would strum comfortably for anything that I was playing. Or I would stay up here in this 5th position. I would just drop my volume back just a little bit. Right? And then maybe go back up for my single note line. So for me, moving back and forth is not uncommon at all to be able to switch the toggle switch back and forth or to adjust my volume. It's just the way I've learned how to play. I've been playing, you know, EMG pickups since around 1991, somewhere like that. And so, you know, I love the sound of single coils. I love the sound of a Strat, you know, but this is where my comfort lies. So what I have to do is I kind of have to readjust to get the sounds that I want. So let me just add a little distortion to this now. So again, now I'm up here on this 89. And again, if I was looking for more of a lead kind of sound, that would sound just fine. But if I wanted to back it off a little bit for some chord strumming and things like that, I might drop back to that 4th position there. Keep my volume down just a little bit. See? Now, if I was strumming something, again, the rhythm section of what I do, I tend to drop down to the 81. Or again, I'd go to 2nd position. And I'm not saying that they sound like single coil necessarily in terms of a Strat, but I really like the tones of those. So whenever I'm doing more rhythm-based stuff, like more rock and roll stuff, I tend to drop down to my 81 and use either the 1st or 2nd positions. And then if I want something that's a bit more sweet on the soloing side or chord fragments, you know, then I tend to use the 4th or 5th positions. Again, 4th position for a bit more of that single coil sound. But see, I'm always aware of my volume, because if my volume's all the way up, I'm going to get that kind of sound. If I drop it back a little bit, and then see, if I want to go into another lick, you'll notice that I'll just turn that volume back up. So I've gotten very fluid at being able to move back and forth, either adjusting the toggle switch or the volume knob. Now, the last thing I want to show you, so I don't take too much of your time, is let's just say I went to more of a rock sound. Okay? And that was what I was using. Again, I would use all of these things the same sort of way, but let's say I needed to push the gain up just a little bit more and I didn't have that available to me. Maybe I'm playing on somebody else's rig at a show or something like that, or something went wrong with my amp and I'm using a backup, or I'm just asked up on stage to play with somebody, whatever the case may be. And I need a little more gain and I don't have it from the rig that I'm playing on. What I do is I take out the tone control, the tone knob, if you will, in all my guitars, and I put in what's called an SPC control, which is something that EMG makes as well. And the original idea of the SPC is that it took a single coil and it turned it into a humbucker, essentially. I believe that's true. So what I do is I use it as a safety net. So if I'm playing, and I'll show you this, I'm going to palm mute here, and it's off right now. So you can see that it's adding a bit more gain to my tone. And so it works great if I'm in a situation where I'm playing on somebody else's rig and I need a little bit more for a particular part of a song or whatever it might be, a solo or something, and I don't have it. Or the other thing I find often is if you're playing on stage and you've moved away from your home base, if you will, of where all your stuff is, and the solo comes and you're way across the other side of the stage, I can just bring this up and then it'll give me sort of that safety net that I need to be able to play, and then I can always just drop it back. Okay? So that's how I use the SPC, kind of a unique way of using that. So I don't have it on all the time. As a matter of fact, I almost never have it on unless I really need to push that. Now, if I go back to the previous sound that I had, let's say it's a kind of a Jimi Hendrix Little Wing situation where you're playing and you're doing whatever you're doing. And all of a sudden a part comes up and you need a bit more. Okay, well, I'll turn that up. See? So it works really great for all those sorts of things. So anyway, hopefully that helps you a little bit in understanding how I sort of manipulate guitar tone and how the pickups work for me and how important they are to my playing. So anyway, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.